So when you've
you have to
built
weigh all
up this
this around.
cool shelter, and like I imagine that takes a pretty long time, and you've got this shelter and you've got all the NPCs in there, what do? If your shelter's just like, yep, this is pretty much impenetrable.
I mean, you kill zombies.
You just
That's the thing. You're always resource managing.
Yeah.
You'll be under siege from time to time from either other survivors or
So it
of course,
constantly throws
zombies.
problems at you.
Yeah, it's like whack-a-mole where you might solve one problem, but another one's going to pop up.
And
that's the simulation.
There's also like the exploration part of it too, right?
Yeah.
Like even though there's zombies everywhere, you still want to like find other places and you want to find new survivors and you want to find new tools and equipment that can like help you like build up like your fortress essentially.
Yeah, well, you kind of have to because the only way to build up a shelter is to get more and more materials, right? So let's say I need a generator. I'm in a residential neighborhood. There's no generators around, but I bet that industrial complex, a mile away will have something that I can use, to fulfill this thing that I want to create, whether that be like a machine workshop or whatever.
You also want to make it look nice. I mean,
Yeah,
you want to look like a place.
flowers.
Better hope it's not nighttime.
Yeah. So here's the other point. In State of Decay, night was an ominous sort of, like, you don't want to be caught out at night. State of Decay 2, that's just so much worse because they've deliberately made it like, I don't know if you guys ever been camping and like it's nighttime and you go away from the campfire and then you literally just can't see. Like you can't even see.
Not like the
this.
city.
Yeah, I used to live out in the middle of nowhere, Texas.
In rural,
so
yeah.
It's awesome, but like sometimes when you're driving with friends, you just turn off your lights for a second. And it's like super spooky. They're like, oh man, turn
Yeah,
it back on.
and you also hit that point where
Friends
like
are insane.
High school thing.
Oh boy.
Don't do that, guys. Keep your lights on when you're driving in the dark.
That's how you get hit,
feel like we have
hit by a
to-
kangaroo.
with the whole real doll conversation that's coming up and Miranda's little gem right there.
Hot tease right
I
there.
feel like we need to put a PSA on the front of this.
Don't do these things. Be safe.
It's the second episode in a row where I'm like, I'm not sure we're doing anybody any good here.
I'm so sorry.
I totally lost my train of thought. So it's super
the night.
microphone.
The night is
nighttime.
scary.
Nighttime.
it's
and
super dark outside. And they've deliberately made it where I think what Jeff Strain said, who's the head of Undead Labs, is that some games when night rolls around, it's like by design kind of bluish, right? So you can still kind of
So
see
that you
what's
can,
happening.
yeah, you can see on
Yeah.
purpose. They want you to see. It's
State of Decay, it feels like there's a 15, maybe 20-foot dome around you, and you just can't see.
So it's like it just becomes
Past
like a
that.
legit horror game at nighttime.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, yeah. We're
way.
we're
I mean,
driving.
the first one was really stressful, so I mean, I
It
can
was.
imagine it being even more so with how you're describing it.
Yeah, I mean, everything has just like been ramped up, and we were playing a co-op game where I think you were in the lead car and I was in a van behind you, and there was
yeah,
one.
that was fun.
There was one point where you got like 30 feet ahead, and all I could see are these two little red
Barely,
taillights,
yeah.
barely, and I had my headlights on and everything, and then you have these like big cars and debris in the middle of the road, and you don't see them coming until like this last second. So you really have to swerve. And fortunately, my van only had like 7 horsepower, so it really didn't get up to top speed.
It's the thing
Cars
selling
have
point about vans.
cars have fuel tanks now. You
Yeah,
have
you have to
they'll run
fuel
out of
them up.
gas.
Oh,
and
that's
you have
cool.
to fuel them up.
Which was I had a cool anecdote where I was in a car and I wanted to get to the other side of the map, and I was running out of gas, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do because I have this big like I was going to swear, but I caught myself. I have this big rucksack in the trunk that I have to get back to the base. Like, fortunately, somebody up there was looking out, and I see a Bronto gas station. Bronto's the like sort of the gas
In-game,
station in the
yeah.
world. I see a Bronto gas station over on the right, and I pull in, fill up, get back in the car, and then just drive.
That's great.
And I was like, man, this is just like real life.
I'm Ryan McCaffrey, the host of Unlocked. If you enjoyed that segment, be sure to check out the full episode and all of our episodes over on our YouTube page. Find that at youtube.com/IGN Unlocked. And if you're a podcast listener, you can subscribe to us on just about all of your favorite podcast services as well.